I am Donna Ambrow Strzelec. I am the oldest child, daughter, born October 15th, 1948.
I am Debra Ambrow Walters, and I was born February 23rd, 1954, and I'm the middle child of the three of us daughters.
My name is Dana Ambrow Toczylowski, and I'm the youngest of the three girls, and my birthday is January 4th, 1956.
So right now what I want to ask you is if you can remember anything at all, and it doesn't have to be perfect, it can be pieces of, but any like specific memories you have about your mom, my gram, wearing jewelry. Like maybe it was a very specific piece of jewelry, or maybe it was something she wore it with, or why she wore it, or maybe she wore it that same day every year. Maybe you knew who gave it to her, maybe you knew where it came from. But anything you can think of specifically from your memory, not photographs, not something she handed to you and said this is from this, but something you saw her wearing.
This is Dana, the youngest, and the only memories I have is seeing the photos of Mom all decked out in her Sunday best with these large pieces of jewelry on in pictures with big red lips and heels and hose and beautiful dresses,
Gloves.
hats. So my memory is mostly of pictures.
What jewelry did she wear? What jewelry can you remember she wearing every day now?
Growing up, earrings. Her mother's ring. It was from the three of us for a Christmas or a birthday with our 3 birthstones in it.
But she wore that after Dad died.
Mm-hmm.
She would wear it on her right hand.
Mm-hmm.
She stopped wearing her engagement ring thin band, I think probably when she got pregnant with Deb. And then Daddy bought her a gold band. And that was what she wore most of the time, was her gold band.
And I do remember, since Donna mentioned that, being small and little, that always wanting to like touch and hold her hands.
Yeah, they were so soft.
Mom had pretty hands, and I can remember the gold band. I don't remember anything else.
You don't remember,
but I
the
can
gauge
remember,
ring, yeah.
like probably a lot of children do, touching and rubbing your hand over your mother's hand.
Who has that?
We turned the gold in, and the stones are up in my jewelry box.
Okay.
They're itty bitty amethyst, a garnet, and an opal. I think they're in a Ziploc bag.
Okay, I just didn't know where that went. I knew we wouldn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the stuff that I
No.
just took over not too long ago.
The only thing I remember is too many gold chains at times. She'd have multiples of
That was
them.
the style, though.
I know it was, but I was such a tomboy, it's like, no, not interested.
Is too many more than one?
Yes.
Yeah.
More than one.
Right. So
And the other thing I remember is the one with the charms.
Yeah.
It was like an oval that had a hook, and it had multiple charms.
Oh, the few pictures we found, I remember, I'm like, oh, I remember that eagle, that gold eagle, because our mother loved eagles. I don't know where that's at either. That she wore on like an 18-inch long chain.
And it felt like
Yeah. And it was small, but it was an eagle.
So Dana remembers Mom getting dressed to the nines.
Pictures only, though.
Pictures. I remember, because I fought it so badly that the 4 of us had to be dressed alike. Mother, me, you, and all of us.
I thought it was just kind of us, and you were kind of similar.
Oh, no. Same dresses, same shoes, same hats.
Ruffled socks.
Ruffled socks.
Mm-hmm.
Pat and Mother Mary Jane.
Yeah.
the ones that you
Yeah.
turned
Down with the little ruffle around.
Dresses that itched.
Dresses.
Well,
Petticoats.
Well, they were frou-frou
Petticoats.
dresses.
Yeah.
Mom would wear. Mom had this thing for big round earrings, the same color, the same pastel as the Easter dress.
Oh, that matched.
Oh, of course.
Coordinated.
And then the graduated beads, smaller to larger. But they didn't last long because they weren't
Right.
quality.
But she
stuff.
looked beautiful in some
Always.
of these pictures.
Christmas was jewelry and an eagle.
Oh, one of those statues.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Okay.
a plate or something with an eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and he would drag me to Famous Bar or Sticksbury and Fuller or Waymuller's
He'd take you with him.
most of the time.
How young do you remember being when you went on those trips?
Maybe 12.
I don't remember ever doing that.
He would start with the jewelry first. And then we would go to the Mrs. department. And he would get a dress and a matching coat.
Like a suite. Like you got like this package deal.
An ensemble.
An ensemble.
I didn't know that. I don't remember that. Did she always like the jewelry Daddy got her?
Yes. Yeah. And I think in the beginning, Grandma even went with him
I was just going to
a
ask
few
that.
times.
Yeah.
Which Mom resented. Because, well, they were very strong women.
Yes.
And
Yes, they were.
they
Yeah.
clashed a few times because it was Donnie.
Yeah.
It was
Her
her Donnie.
firstborn. Yeah.
It's funny though, Mom, that like my memory of Christmas as a kid was you getting jewelry from Dad every year,
Mhm.
but you never just was given it ever.
Oh, no, I had to hunt for it.
Right.
You had to hunt for it?
Oh, it was a game with Dale. Yeah.
You've never heard these stories?
No. Does he still do it?
I don't think so because we're not in the house to help her anymore.
Oh.
Because I don't know. If
So
she
he would hide it, and you and John.
He would hide it and he would leave hints, and I would say, I don't understand. On purpose, most of the time.
Oh.
sometimes.
Sometimes, but he was really good at it. And they even had difficulty on occasion.
Yeah, it would take us all over the house and looking stuff up and encyclopedias
Wow. We went to a
Over
lot of
weeks.
work.
and over
Yeah, he
weeks.
did.
And then the piece of jewelry would be like in a coffee pot in a box on
Oh.
Christmas. Like it was never like, here is your.
Yeah.
It was always Bailey.
You opened a coffee pot.
Yeah, and I go, are you serious?
All of this. All
And
this
did you
stuff.
really not know until you went to like
Correct.
clean it and open it and start using
'Cause he
it?
would make it seem. He would say like, Dolly, you didn't figure it out.
You sound just like him.
Send it back.
You sound just like him.
But it was always the blue Bailey Banks and Bill. I
Mhm.
remember a box in a box.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that pretty clearly, which is funny. But it's this interesting parallel between you growing up seeing your mother open jewelry and me growing up watching you open jewelry. And my husband is not allowed to buy me jewelry, and so this like
Mine either.
it's interesting how
I don't. Yeah.
I mean the only jewelry he would buy me is jewelry of den Victorian people
Mm-hmm.
with like hair in it. That's the only jewelry he's allowed to buy for me.
Morning brooches.
Yeah, but he would never buy me like glittery.
Yeah.
No, and
Yeah.
Dad doesn't buy me glittery stuff anymore.
Well, you probably don't need it
No.
anymore. You got all that you need.
All these years. Yeah.
You get to a point where you check all the boxes, and it's like, how much more do you
Yeah.
actually need?
Hey Beck, remind us how old you were when your grandmother or mother gave you all that jewelry.
It was 2004. That was when Adam and I took a road trip. We went to see like 8 baseball fields.
Yes.
And we came and stayed here with
Uh huh.
you
You
guys.
did. So that was that trip.
And then we saw.
You weren't married, were you?
No.
No.
That was 3 years later.
Okay.
We saw a couple games,
Mm-hmm.
but I remember we were leaving town to go to our next stop.
Okay.
And we stopped at Graham's
To say goodbye.
We had been hanging out. with
Yeah.
her. She was at her
Yeah.
house.
Right.
And I wanted to show Adam underneath the desk because it still had my name on it.
Right.
He never believed me
Right.
that there was a
Right.
piece of masking tape
Right.
with my name on it.
Right.
So we're under looking at the desk. He's like, "Yep, there it is."
He got down on the floor
Yeah.
and looked big at him.
Graham's just like, "What are you doing?" And then we were literally leaving, and I'm like, "You don't have to walk us out." She's like, "No, I'm good." She goes back into the house for something. I thought maybe her cigarettes or something.
Yeah.
She comes out with these 2 shoe boxes.
Uh-huh.
She's holding them like this.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Graham, let me help you. She's like, they're not heavy. I'm like, what is it? She's like, just put them in your car. Like she was
Thought you'd say
irritated.
no.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Well,
she
she
didn't
was
want-
letting go of something.
Yeah.
that was
True.
Well, but she also like because on me, I was like, what is that? What's in there?
Yeah.
What are you giving me?
Dead mice.
And I like, well, it was a Rika in a kid's box. I didn't want shoes.
Right,
Like, I thought
right,
they were shoes.
right.
Like, I don't
Which
want your
grandma would
shoes.
do.
Right. I don't want your shoes. So I like peeked open the top box, and it was to the brim with tangled costume. jewelry.
Right.
Like she took a drawer.
And dumped
just
it, or a
dumped it.
jewelry
I'm gonna-
box
I'm gonna
and dumped
preface
it.
that.
Yeah.
That's how we took it out of Grandma Ambrow's house. Some of that jewelry.
Some of it.
Oh.
And I will tell you why. And I remember this. It was Dad and Mom and myself, Uncle Mickey and Aunt Jeannie, Uncle David and Aunt Sue, Uncle John and Aunt Ruth. And Mom and I and Aunt Jeannie and Aunt Sue were in Grandma's Ambrow's bedroom.
Mhm.
Now we had to get all this cleared out because the house was going on the market.
Right.
And Dale was also.
And they were prepping everything for an auction.
Yeah. And unbeknownst to us, Aunt Jeannie had already emptied out of Grandma's drawers of jewelry and dumped them in boxes.
I remember hearing
Which-
this.
Didn't surprise me,
Right.
but Daddy was
Yeah.
crushed
Right.
because he remembers Grandpa giving Grandma some of this jewelry.
Right.
Because Grandma Ambrow loved costume jewelry. I mean, the costumier, the better. Because they would match her lavender hat and her lavender suit and her black patent leather pumps and purse and white gloves.
What happened with the jewelry? Did Dad say anything, or did he let
No,
it go?
Aunt Sue did. Oh, she was a...
So she approached
Jean,
Jeannie.
what's this, Jean?
Empty drawers, or empty...
Where are the boxes? I want to see them.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you tell me where they're... I'm going to go get them. She already put them in her car.
So it must have been some of that, but some of Graham's too. Like she might have just combined them all.
I think probably maybe one box was totally tangled and it was Grandma
I don't
Ambrow's.
remember.
Yeah, if I would have seen them tangled up,
You
I
known.
would have known.
Remembered.
I would have known what was Grandma Ambrow's, and
Well,
because some of that was Aunt Ruth's,
yeah.
Yeah.
some of that was Grandma Gilbert's
Yeah.
that was passed on to Grandma
Some
Ambrow.
of it we don't know where it came from.
So
Right.
what happened was my father took it over from Aunt Sue, and anything that was of value, Daddy took care of and had it appraised
Mm-hmm.
and sold it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was divided between the three brothers
Yeah.
because that's
Right.
what Grandma wanted.
Right.
The costume stuff,
Right.
Mom just took home and put in a closet.
Did Uncle Mickey know his wife did that?
Yes.
So Graham hands me these boxes, and Adam's like thinks I have too much junk, even though he has a lot of junk too. But he was like, what are we getting now, kind of thing. And we just talked about the desk, which he's eyeing up because that's gonna end up in our house someday.
Right.
And I go, why are you giving? I thought she was sick. Why are you
Sure.
giving me
Yeah.
these?
You immediately
Something
thought
wrong?
something was wrong.
Like, what's going on? She's like, nothing. You just have your car and I don't have to ship it. It's so much easier. You're studying jewelry. You're the only one who will appreciate this anyway.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I was like, did you tell Mom? She's like, it's not the real stuff. It doesn't even matter. Like, she was more because I was concerned that it should go to you guys. Like,
Mhm.
you're the ones
Oh.
who should get this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And then Graham's like, it's not the real stuff. It doesn't matter.
But some of it is close to being an antique.
Sure. Some of it
Oh yeah.
You know.
Thanks, honey.
for
I
taking
appreciate it.
Because you didn't want to go through it.
Nope.
Caitlin and Rachel got some jewelry because they've messaged me when I've been doing this project, and they said, they got some of the nice stuff. I think
I think all of you got some of the nice stuff.
I didn't take any of. The
I
nice
didn't
stuff.
take anything.
The only
I
thing
thought
I have,
John-
Didn't John get the ring?
John got Daddy's
Dad's
ring,
ring.
but
yeah.
that was in
I
her.
thought you had
Yeah.
got one of Dad's rings too.
I got what I think was like an early wedding band.
Okay.
Which
Because I remember
It
you
was all
saying, "Can I have
scratched
this?" And
up
we were
and
like,
it's-
"Of course you can have it."
That was Grandma's wishes. That was written.
The John
Yeah.
and the ring thing,
Yeah.
Mhm.
thinking he was going to give it to his bride.
No.
Did she think my brother was going to use it?
I don't think she cared what he did with it.
Oh, I see. But she didn't think that through. She was just like, John gets this.
You know, I do have one thing that Mom gave me.
It was a man's ring and the only grandson she had.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. When you said
That was-
I thought it was
yeah.
right. I got it.
Yeah, no.
The only thing I had, Mom gave it to me years ago because back in the day when you worked in retail at the holidays, you would wear a scarecrow pin
Oh, holiday
or a
stuff.
pumpkin
Yeah,
pin.
yeah.
I do have a really old tree pin that, of course, I never wear, but since it was from my mom
You're gonna keep it.
years ago, I'm going to keep it,
Sure.
which
Yeah.
I'll show to you, Beck,
Okay.
if you want to see it.
Yeah. I'd love to see.
Actually, I forgot about it
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
Because the tree
we're
farm-
talking about it.
She probably gave it to you the tree farm.
No, it's not for the tree farm because back in the day when you worked retail, you represented what the holiday was, and the thing was, you know, by your name tag, you always
Dana, back in the day, I wore every kind
Yeah.
of holiday pin on my scrubs
right,
that existed.
exactly,
I
exactly.
sought them out.
So it was a thing back then.
2 years ago, I'd been hanging on to all this jewelry since 2004. And then 2 years ago, I was the Penn State laureate, and I wasn't teaching for a whole year, and I knew I wouldn't be in my studio much. These boxes had been sitting in my studio, and I'd open them and be like, maybe I'll wear this today, and I just couldn't. Like, I don't wear jewelry. It's all pretty loud. Like, there's not very many subtle things in here. And I just also felt like I didn't want to think about it. You know, I just wanted to keep it in the boxes, and maybe someday I'd let Stella go through it or something. But then I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to use this as a project, and I'm going to do what I think she wanted me to do with it, which is to use it. Like, to take it apart and make new things with it, or wear it, or do something else with it. That's why she gave it to me. So I did. I wore a piece of Graham's every day for a year. It didn't matter what I was doing. If I was in my pajamas all day, or if I went to an event, or if I was speaking or playing roller derby, I wore a piece every single day. So they're all in bags, and they're labeled on the days I wore them.
Oh, how cool is that?
So you guys, what I want you to do is just look through them, and if you see anything that you recognize, or you have any memory of, or stories of, or questions about, I just want to talk. Mom's cleared some of
You
these
start,
up.
Dana, and just show us because
You don't have to do every single piece either. There's a lot in here.
These are Mom's dentures.
that's her.
What day did you wear these?
I did wear
She
them.
did wear
Like
them.
a
She
pin
pinned
or
them
something?
to herself.
I wore them 2 days before I was done, and I put like just a straight pin through them because they were in this velvet box just like this. But they're old.
She hated
Mom.
it.
They're old.
Yeah, she wouldn't
because
wear
she
it.
gave them to me way before she died, so she
Yeah,
wasn't wearing them.
She wouldn't wear it.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing her wear a cross pin. Do you remember that, Donna? But I don't remember that.
Well, that's because this is not hers. This was not hers.
It was somebody else's.
Here's some praying hands pins.
None of these were given to her.
Oh,
These were given to her by friends that, you
kind
know,
of like handed them out.
and she just would keep them because she didn't want to offend them or, you know.
You guys can dig through here because nothing's ringing a bell for me.
I would
Far.
really like to know if she did what she's supposed to do when asked.
To get those Mardi Gras beads. But
the-
Mom thought she'd never been to New Orleans. You thought she got those
Here
like,
in
gambling
St. Louis,
somewhere.
though, at work, they all probably were wearing Mardi Gras beads on Fat Tuesday.
she got these at a casino.
Yeah. They do that today still.
Oh,
in
okay.
St.
These were
Louis.
Grandma Ambrow's.
Because they're so cool.
Those crystal necklaces.
Yes.
I have earrings that match that necklace.
Cool.
Wow.
Those were some of the pair that really hurt. Like some of these clip-on earrings are just
Remember
I
these
don't
at all?
know.
torture.
What, do you see anything that Dad bought her at Christmas time in here,
Yeah, I'd have to look. Yeah.
Donna? Because, see, I don't remember.
These were also Grandma Ambrow's.
Which
The
Those-
bronze.
This
the
looks
one-
like something that would be in Grandma Ambrow.
That's Grandma's. I remember that.
Yeah.
Those. These were not Mother's. Oh no! Wait a minute. This is a long necklace, isn't it?
pretty long.
Is there a lot of earrings in here,
This
Beck?
was Grandma's.
There's
Did
a
she
lot.
wear with this
Daddy
with that ugly dress?
Daddy
that-
bought
Oh,
that.
that
we
red
saw
I was
dress.
with
dress.
Daddy when he bought that.
That's serious.
I bought her this.
Like
Yeah.
something you'd hang
The
on a
necklace?
Christmas
Yeah,
tree.
it was made at a craft fair,
Oh, sure.
In Joy Bell, I think, at church.
probably.
Oh, your church,
Yeah.
where you grew up.
Yeah, that's a set. Yeah.
Wow. I don't
Is it
remember this at
inside
all,
there?
Beck.
It's not hers.
No, because I wore them on different days.
Oh, gotcha.
Like I wore
Yeah,
these.
I had this. This was made by a lady at church.
Is this Grandma Ambrow's down
Yes.
there?
Looks like a rosary.
Look at this. This is pretty cool.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
And it says something here, Beck. Did you figure out
There's
what
a
it
bunch
said?
of, it's like Monet or something. There's a bunch of like by
Oh,
one company.
Feel that. Isn't that beautiful? Can you remember it on
If
Grandma
you would
Ambrow?
ever think, no, I can remember it on a wool suit that she had.
Sure. Like her coat lapel,
Listen,
maybe.
Let me tell you, when we went to Florida, when I drove Grandma to Florida, all this stuff came with her.
Oh, I'm
All
sure.
of these jewels that were hers.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, Daddy gave her this. This has earrings, right, Rebecca?
Yeah, that's the brooch. There's earrings somewhere.
This is you would think as old as this is, it would have to be worth something.
I don't know. It depends
More
how many
sentimental?
exist, like how expensive they were and stuff.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's in relation to the day, time.
This was not cheap
I bet not.
back in the day.
I mean, you can have really expensive costume jewelry.
Oh,
It doesn't matter
sure.
if it's real or not.
I always loved this. Oh, this is not Mom's. This was not Mom's.
Another brooch.
Yeah, but the back of the pin. Oh no, the pin's there. This was Grandma.
Those were beautiful.
This is Grandma Ambrose.
Is it like a sweater clip?
So listen to this craziness. This is a sweater clip, and then these unhook. They're on like closures like this, and then these are clip-on earrings,
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
and they are torture devices.
Oh my goodness.
That's an Easter bunny.
This is Aunt Ruth.
It's missing an egg, I think, or a
Let me
carrot
see.
maybe. I don't think it was.
I can't see from here.
Aunt Ruth always wore cardigans,
Oh my.
and she always had some kind of little pin
gosh.
up high. She would have a little pin, and
On
I
her
remember that
turtleneck.
on
like,
her cardigans.
On her card. Look at that, Deb. How old that is.
These were Mom's. These were
This is
These were
amazing.
Mom's. You can tell the difference between Grandma
Yes,
Ambrow
you
and
can.
Mom's jewelry.
You can like this looks really really old.
This is really, really old.
That's another sweater clip.
This is
This has got something on it.
my great grandmother's. Our great grandmother's. I used to think she wore the ugliest jewelry and she smelled like mothballs.
Your
Mhm.
grandmother.
And the great grandmother.
Those are old.
Let me see.
Love from Schnook,
Um,
past queen,
These little roses,
Five.
Rebecca,
28,
Those are-
89.
those are great grandma's.
see, here's some Christmas stuff.
This stuff was passed down to my grandmother to my mother.
A deer, maybe, Tim? Is that what that is?
It
or-
is a deer.
Yeah,
Baby
I don't
feet.
remember a lot of
Baby
jewelry.
feet.
Yeah, isn't that weird? There's also a little pin with a hairdryer on it, like an angel and a hairdryer.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, I have no idea what that is.
Oh, these are old and these were not
Those
Mom's.
look old. So anything you think, Donna, that looks really old
It's
was
these
probably Grandma
were
Ambrose?
these were Grandma Ambrose. I remember these.
Wow.
She really liked these.
Look at this. Isn't
Of course, they were a little more shiny.
Look at this
What is that?
one. It's like a rose.
Like on a button
I
to
think
the
it's for a
top shirt.
scarf.
It's
like
a s-
you
put
put
the
your
ends of scarf through it.
Oh,
like a
okay.
silk scarf.
Amazing. Truly is.
No, this is not. This was Grandma Ambrose.
Yeah. I mean, you can really tell the difference.
Yeah.
In some
Because
of the age of the
Grandma was
jewelry.
so into color.
What is amazing too is
Let me see the rest of them.
what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
You,
Some of the stuff.
These look like fairly nice pearls with the clasp and everything.
those are Grandma
they
Ambrose.
broke?
Those were Grandma
Yeah,
Ambrose.
careful, that beads me.
Yeah, and because the tying is
Yeah.
rotten.
This.
Mom bought this.
They're very old though, Beck.
Yeah, they are.
And they're still got that color.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to
This is
sort
Grandma.
through it all and organize it, Rebecca?
Well, I wasn't very organized while I was wearing it, which is terrible.
So you kind of did it as you did it. You
Like-
did it as you wore
I
it.
wear a few weeks and then I go back because I was taking photos
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like write. I made these labels and I bagged them. I should have been more organized while I was doing it. If I had to do it again, I would have done it a little differently. But
You only have one of these earrings?
what is that?
This. Missing tons of stones.
Yes.
Yeah. That was Grandma Ambrose.
Mm-hmm. You can tell by the age of it.
And she was flamboyant.
Mm-hmm.
She liked it to show. Mom wasn't quite.
Unless it was like we talked about before, a very special occasion.
She's like wouldn't be covered in fabric. Like,
She got those at a craft fair.
jeez,
They look craft fairy.
Yeah.
Is it a necklace?
Yeah, there's earrings too.
Looks
Yeah,
like
she
a
bought
nice
this.
gold bracelet or necklace. one of the ones you talked about early on?
Yeah.
Where she'd have wore
Too
so
many.
many.
Is that a necklace? Let
Yeah.
me see that.
It's a short one.
Here's one with little pearls.
Dale and I bought her this.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of those ones with little
Yeah.
pearls.
That she probably wore at the same time.
We bought her quite a few pieces of jewelry. We bought her this too. Before we had kids.
Is this
And
Grandma
we were
Ambrow,
married
or
6
is
years
this like-
before. Mother would not buy something like this.
It's one of those flower things. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is not old.
Yeah. Now that you take it out.
Someone must have given it to her.
Those are still on there. I wore them, but I put them back on there.
The card.
Yeah, and they have a
You have a
necklace-
card on them?
Never
a
worn.
necklace that goes with them.
Ouch, this hurts.
What are you doing, honey? Oh, you dropped.
I dropped some. I don't
You get it?
know. Ooh.
That's an eagle.
Mm-hmm. Is that the eagle she had on her chain?
Yeah. I don't think
No,
so.
because it was
It's
long.
the
It was
way-
this way.
Yeah.
That's pretty, Donna.
Yeah, there's earrings that go
It's
with it.
very pretty.
Yeah, this came from Famous Bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mom, look at this one. This is the one I was telling you about. It's like an angel with a hairdryer.
Yeah, well, it's probably means something to
Like a
Mom,
hairdresser
but
would
not.
have it or something.
Mom bought these.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
Mom bought these.
There's this too. Do you guys remember this little JFK?
She bought that.
I don't remember it, but I remember seeing it, now that you see it. Yeah, she loved John F. Kennedy.
This was Grandma
Can
Ambrow's.
you imagine buying a necklace of the president now? Like, or any, even Obama. Who would
Yeah,
like,
anybody. Yeah, it's like,
so weird.
yeah.
Which one's that one?
This was my great grandmother's.
There's two of those. There's another one.
They're pins. She bought stuff like this so to go with one specific
Right,
outfit. And she would only wear it with that one specific outfit. Like this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's others of those, Mom.
This looks old, is it?
I'd have to take it out and look at it.
Like a bobber and a life preserver.
It does, doesn't it?
See, these are very Grandma Ambrow. Your great grandmother.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the color of the
That's ugly.
whatever. Here's a parrot pin.
Yeah.
Those look like they hurt.
They all hurt.
You know what she was really
Apple.
into in the later years was ordering from
Yes.
this Bradford.
Yes, you're right, Donna. She did.
Like home shopping stuff?
No more like a catalog because like little catalog.
I remember this necklace. I remember her wearing this necklace.
Do you really?
Like this blue, like she had a lot of those like matching jogging suits.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
And I remember
I have
You
no
throw that on with it.
I have no recollection of this at all.
of that, yeah.
What did she wear with a jogging suit?
This blue.
Oh yeah.
Is that old, Donna? I mean, it looks old. Well, it is
Rebecca
old.
knows
Oh,
more than
my.
me. Turkey?
Well, it's a peacock.
Ugh.
And remember
Oh, it's
we
a-
talked about this because it's hinge.
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand why you need a hinge on a brooch. Or somebody else
I'd
on
have to look at it.
Facebook said, "Oh, it's so it can stand up on your dresser
I
when
didn't
you're
say
not-
that.
when you're not wearing
Oh.
Someone on Facebook
it."
said
So
that.
it's like
I
a
did
little
not.
sculpture.
That's cool.
This was Grandma Ambrow's. She had
Looks
a-
like it
her
could be.
winter
Yeah.
coats.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
would wear there's something that big
Here's
on her.
more serpentine gold jewelry.
She bought these. There's Betty. Obviously, I don't know about this angel. I have no idea
Yeah.
what that's all about, Rebecca.
Yeah, it's weird. Right?
Is it a Christmas pin?
It's just got a
With a hair dryer. It's got a blow dryer.
Why does she need a hair dryer?
I wonder if any of this stuff was like bought by us, or we thought it was really neat. And Mom was like,
Yeah, there's a lot of
"Ooh."
stuff in
Thanks
here
so
that I
much.
that Dale and I bought, Mom.
It's bizarre.
I know. Mom bought these.
You gotta have your mom ask the hairdresser, what do you know of this? Where she takes the kids. Are we sure that's what it is?
She wouldn't know. She's too
It's
young.
totally a hair dryer.
It's totally a hair dryer. Oh, this is.
I was gonna take it out and try to read it or get a magnifying glass.
That's one of the Schnucks things.
Oh, is it?
Is it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
So,
Dana,
Dana, why is a grocery store giving my grandmother jewelry?
She had the best performance at her position over a
This
certain
is
period of
cheapy.
time.
It's like
And
an
years
incentive.
ago, they used to have a checker queen
Incentive.
dinner, and because she did so good, she was checker queen. And one of the photos of
Yes.
mom and dad,
Yeah.
and she's got a fur jacket on and a crown on her
And the
head.
piece and the
They
jewelry.
went to Hawaii.
They give
They
them a
sent
trip
it
to
on
Hawaii.
Mhm.
Okay.
They don't do that anymore.
No, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
I think we went through a time period where big costume jewelry wasn't an in thing.
No.
For young or old.
You can bet your bottom dollar all these hoops are hers. She bought.
Yeah, she wore hoops a lot.
There's a pin that goes with those hoops.
Yeah.
Rarely did she wear screw earrings or clips. You know,
They
the
hurt
clip
too
back.
bad, right?
Terrible. I don't know how women wore them.
I mean, that container has all those
Ooh, I
lapel
didn't see
pins.
that.
Yeah, and this isn't new. I mean, this is not old.
No.
No, these were her flower of the month
Oh.
from like the Bradford catalog. Or, see how
It's kind of pretty.
it is.
Deb's face did not agree with that assessment.
If it was a fish, you might like it.
I still wouldn't wear it.
What is this? ESS? Is that what that says?
Elizabeth? No? I don't know. She bought it for somebody and forgot to give it to him?
It's possible.
Elizabeth Ann Ambrow.
Is it EAA?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Elizabeth Ann Ambrow. That's pretty.
These are ugly as sin, and I don't know who
When
they
they're
are.
cracked, like,
Yeah.
I bet those did hurt.
Those hurt, and the ones mom just had were really, really bad too. I
These?
didn't wear them for very long. No, those. There's a necklace that goes with
These.
those.
Harry.
Yeah. How about that?
That's our grandfather.
What?
Well, you didn't. You couldn't.
I told you
remember.
that, and I told you that.
I don't remember. You
It could have very well been Grandma Fincher's.
Uncle Harry?
He wasn't really our grandfather. These are mom's.
What do you mean he wasn't really your grandfather?
He wasn't our real grandfather.
Mom's dad passed away
When mom was only 3 months old.
So
very young.
your grandmother remarried this guy.
Twice.
Married him twice,
No, she got married twice after that.
and he was the second or the first.
He was a third.
Daniel
Daniel Joseph Burns
Burns
was her
first.
biological daddy.
and Grandma's first husband. Harry.
And what I was told, he fell down their flight of stairs and fell through the plate glass door that
I never
was
heard that story ever.
really
Dana.
thick and cut himself and bled to death.
I never heard that story.
I heard that from Mom.
I
How
never
did
heard.
he die?
I was
Because
told
he
he had
bled
an
to death.
aneurysm.
That's what I was told by Mom.
She never told me that story.
Well,
And Aunt Florence
So we probably won't ever know.
told me that
Well.
Grandma told her that he had an aneurysm.
We could probably look
but
it up.
he,
But maybe-
he wasn't Florence's daddy.
No, I know that. I
Well,
know.
maybe that's what Grandma Fincher told
Oh, that's
her
interesting.
next
Oh,
daughter
maybe.
and son and son.
And who was her?
He was Earl Van Horn
And he had Florence
and Jack
and Skip.
and Skip.
So grandma's siblings are from all different fathers.
Right.
She's the only one from
One other
the
father.
first, but she's the only one from
Mhm.
the original husband.
Hmm.
Yes.
She was the oldest?
Ma?
Rosemary and Mom are from Daniel Joseph
And then
Burns,
there's three more from.
from Earl Van Horn.
These are ugly.
And then Grandma
And then
married
Harry.
Harry Fincher, and we called him Uncle Harry.
Okay. Got it.
Did you hear that story too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's fine. I'm just shocked. You know.
Have you ever heard this before?
No.
Till this very moment?
I never heard he fell down any steps. I never heard he bled to death.
Rebecca, this is
That's-
amazing what you've done.
That's something to think
And the
about.
fact that you wore all this.
So I wore this one necklace 3 times. That looked like that. It's like golden.
Yeah.
This is cool. Where it stands
And
out.
on the third time I
You
wore
see.
it, I was in my office on campus and I went to stand up to walk down the hallway and I felt something snap and they all like fell off my body and skittered down the hallway. And all my colleagues who knew what I mean,
You were doing?
they were all like, oh, Rebecca, don't move. And all of these like professors are on their hands and knees picking up all my beads and I'm bawling. And I don't know why I'm crying because
It was broken.
I'm gonna take them all apart anyway.
Yeah, it was
So I
broken.
was like, but it just felt like something was lost.
Is that the only thing that broke?
While I was wearing it, there were a few things that were broken as I pulled them out.
Yeah.
And I tried to like fix
At
all
what
of it.
point was this when it broke?
Day 334.
Oh, towards the end.
Yeah. But then I knew where I was gonna start because when I was finished, I was a little freaked out that like I wouldn't know where to begin. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the piece I started with, and I made. So I finished 4 pieces already of the new stuff. I'm gonna show you guys.
Oh
I'm
my
not
goodness.
seeing this.
Oh.
Hey, sweetheart.
Wow.
When have you been doing this? All summer?
This was early in the summer.
Early in the summer.
When kids were in camp for weeks. So I made 4 neck pieces.
Oh my goodness.
And you guys will know this, so anytime we got off the phone with Graham, and I felt like when we were kids we talked to her a lot, like once a week maybe.
Yeah, I called.
And every time we'd get cards or letters, she'd always say, I love you, a bushel and a peck.
Mm-hmm.
And Jonathan and I've asked him, and we just thought for the longest time that was just something she made up. Like that was
Sure,
her
you
saying.
didn't know.
And it wasn't until like I think I was like 20 and I heard that Doris Day song from Guys and Dolls on a car commercial. Yeah. And I was like, hey, that's my Gram's saying. What is this
Yeah.
person doing singing this? And I felt like it cheated. So anyway, I made 4 pieces called bushel, peck, barrel, and heap. So to kind of get us started. So this is bushel. They're all neck pieces, and I took all the parts from. So you'll see them like these are on the inside. Those are the beads from the necklace, and then these are the little beads that were in between them, and then I added everything else. And this is all 3D printed.
It's
So-
beautiful.
Oh, thanks. It's yellow, like this bright emergency yellow, because I wanted it to be like jarring. But I didn't want it to be sad. I wanted it to be
It's
like,
very happy.
like wake up, like this
Uh-huh.
is, we're starting this thing, kind of. So they're very, very bright on purpose. And those strings are supposed to be reminiscent of like hair and morning jewelry and time, and like all these little beads are memories, and it's like a container almost that like holds all of them,
It
right?
is amazing.
And
And this is the one that fell apart?
yeah. And had I been wearing something like this, I might have caught more of them.
Yes.
So it's this
Yes.
whole idea that it froze that moment in time. And then this is Peck. And this is completely based on the clasp, which is pretty interesting. This one in front of me. So the clasp is like this really beautiful. This is the clasp from the necklight piece, and it's like these 2 ribbon forms, and then you hook it on this line of beads. So I took this and I remade it big. And kind of turned it into just kind of a design, a narrative about it, more just about direct. Some of the pieces I'm going to make are just going to be direct relationship to the forms in the jewelry. Like I didn't make this up, you know. So.
It's beautiful.
And then this is barrel. This one's fun. Stella likes this one a lot because it's kinetic. So
Oh, that's
it
neat.
kind of looks like a barrel.
It does.
So I trapped a bunch of those beads in here. It's just kind of fun.
How did you trap them in there?
With this cork.
Oh, it opens.
Yeah, just shoved them in there. And then this is heap, which is just like
Oh, I like that.
it's like a heap of beads that just have these 2 little pops. They're the last 2 beads that were left, basically. So I thought I would take each of Graham's piece and make 1 piece from them. But then I made this, and there was all this stuff left over, and I was like, I have to use all of it. Like you have to use the whole animal kind of thing.
Right.
So then I just had to make more.
Did this help you when you were working on it?
It did. I
After
mean,
it all broke, that you kind of like
yes. Now that
connected
they're
with the
done,
story
yeah.
and
Yeah, it's hard to start this kind of stuff. And then it also just feels like friends are like, why aren't you doing it? Like you've been talking about it for years. Like what's going on, Rebecca? I'm like, it's hard. Like it's harder
move
than
forward.
I was really brave, and I was like, it's just my Graham's jewelry, and I'm gonna take it apart and do whatever I want.
yeah.
And that's fine to do when it's stuff from the thrift store and it's not your grandmother's. Right now that you can people, then it's like you have a little bit more responsibility. And so it was hard. It was really hard. Like I took way too much time thinking about it before I started, but now I'm
But I think you needed to.
probably.
Processing it.
It's very cool.
Impressive.
Very cool, babe.
You're ready now.
Very cool. Very cool. This is happy part. The sad thing that broke your heart turned into a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it's not boxes anymore. That's what's important, I think.
Oh, I'm so impressed.
I think Mother would be very impressed because
And she had the foresight to know that these 2 boxes of jewelry, because you
I
were
think so.
interested in jewelry,
Yeah, she
She'll
just was like,
create something
Yeah.
with this. Nobody else would,
I think
but
in
you
her head,
would.
She was like,
before-
you're going to care about this.
Yes.
So here. Yeah, I don't think she knew what I was going to do, but I think she.
no, I don't think
No.
she had any idea what you're going to do, but I think she knew that you would treat it with respect and appreciate it.
Yeah.
But you know, this kind of stuff takes a lot of thought. I'm very proud of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.